What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and from the comeback, Kevin Durant gets brutally honest about Charles Barkley. Quote, I probably wouldn't sit down with Charles Barkley, to be honest. And I think this beef stems from a couple years ago when Charles Barkley said something about how Kevin Durant needed to be a bus driver, alluding to the fact that he can't win without the likes of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Basically, he's supposed to be a superstar, but can't carry the team. I think that's where this started. I don't know. Go ahead and fact check it. They say, the war of words between Charles Barkley and Kevin Durant has gotten pretty heated in recent months. It also appears that the two aren't likely to have a face-to-face chat about it anytime soon. Barkley sparked the latest round of verbal battles between him and Durant on a recent 60 Minutes appearance. Who knows? Why is Charles Barkley on 60 Minutes anyways? I mean, is he promoting a book or something? Right? Typically, it's like political figures, policymakers, lawmakers, stuff like that. But for some reason, Charles Barkley's on 60 Minutes. No shade. It just doesn't seem like the time, with everything going on in the world, to have Charles Barkley on 60 Minutes. But again, that's a different story, and I digress. While Barkley said he thinks Durant is a great player, he also said the two-time NBA champion is very sensitive for his inability to take criticism. And that doesn't seem too far off base for me. Remember, Kevin Durant notoriously had a burner Twitter account that he forgot to switch over when he was pretending to be a fan of Kevin Durant and going to bat for him, and then it turned out it was him. So if that's not sensitive, I don't know what is. He's very sensitive, said Barkley of Durant. Great player. He's part of the generation who thinks he can't be criticized. He's never looked into the mirror and says, man, is that a fair criticism? All right. Durant responded to a tweet that included Barkley's comments. He says, this ain't getting tiring, Chuck. I'll never respect the words that come out of your mouth, fam. Just deal with it. Okay. So, look, Kevin Durant is incredibly sensitive. And he doesn't need to be. He's 7 feet tall. He's a two-time NBA champion. He should really stop crying about it. I mean, maybe get a barber, right? He might need a new haircut. That's about it. But he doesn't have to worry about what Charles Barkley says. And as we know, they constantly get on Charles Barkley because he never won a ring. Now, Kevin Durant absolutely did win two, but I guess the criticism now is that he didn't do it, quote, by himself. Now, he's not supposed to have to do it by himself. There's 5 guys on a team. 5 guys on one team on the court at one time. So nobody is sitting here saying that you need to do it by yourself. Are they saying that maybe you should lead the team and you shouldn't have to coattail with Steph Curry? You shouldn't be team hopping? To be as good a player as he is, he doesn't need to be playing for, 5 or 6, however many teams he's hopped around on. It continues. Since then, we haven't heard much from either of them about the other. However, Durant was asked this week what he might say to Barkley if they were to have a sit-down interview. Perhaps during the 2023 NBA playoffs, the Phoenix Suns star scoffed at the very notion. I probably wouldn't sit down with Charles, to be honest. Why not, bro? It's going to make for great TV. We all want to see it. And we would much rather watch that than, read Brittany Griner's memoir. But, of course, that's a different story, too. Reminded of a conversation the two had a few years back on TNT, Durant said that he and Barkley have had some, quote, good moments, cool moments, but said to the core, he respects everything Barkley brought to the game of basketball. I've tried to emulate all the greats in some form or fashion, Durant continued. I'll never take away what he means to the game of basketball. I think we're all cut from the same cloth. We've been through this journey. Durant added he does think the two would find common ground if they did actually speak face-to-face. So he says that they can come to an agreement and they can reach common ground, but he doesn't want to do it. Apparently. And I'm not exactly sure why. I probably wouldn't sit down with Charles, he said, a smiling Kevin Durant on as he addresses their back and forth. Okay. So Kevin Durant is the epitome, as far as I'm concerned, of Twitter fingers, right? I mean, I'm never going to let go of that burner Twitter account that he had. So when Charles Barkley calls him sensitive, you can look right back at that and say, he's right. And then for him to say, we probably could find common ground and I do respect him, but I don't want to talk to him, doesn't make any sense. And this is really not that serious of a problem. Obviously, the world's going to keep on spinning, but I think it would make for good TV, right? You can probably make a bunch of money if you just go have a 20-minute interview with him, but what do I know? I'm sure we can relate on a lot of things. We've accomplished and experienced the same stuff, the same things in this league. I wouldn't say we're not on the same page. We may disagree on some stuff, but you watch TNT, those guys disagree every day, but to the core of it, we're all ball players, and we've been through the journey as ball players, and I'd say that we're on the same page already. So I guess that's his excuse for not going to talk to him, is saying that it's not that big of a deal, which is absolutely true. So I don't know. We've gone around in circles here, but Kevin, you are sensitive. You did have a burner Twitter account. You need to quit team hopping. And if you look, I'm going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert on basketball, which is not true. But that's my job at this particular point in time, right? Is to talk about these other people who are doing a great job in their occupation. With that said, I don't really like Kevin Durant. He seems like kind of a weenie. I prefer Kyrie or even Ja Morant or even Steph Curry, and we wouldn't see eye to eye on almost anything. Or Steve Kerr. I mean, the list goes on. Most of these guys, I should say, are pretty beholden to their weirdo puppet masters of China and the political establishment. The list goes on. But with all that said, Kevin Durant, you should sit down with Charles Barkley because it would make for great TV. You're probably not going to win with the Suns. You're probably not going to win without somebody else like Steph Curry, but I don't know. I'm no expert. Prove me wrong. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and, of course, subscribe.